Next.
I didn't get the height. I didn't get the issue. I'm like, she looks like women that I grew up knowing.
Right.
I didn't see her being this size that people were trying to make her out. And you know what I'm saying? Yes, she was heavier than probably most women in the mainstream, but I didn't see it as being something that was taboo. You know, it
No,
just
I
felt normal to
didn't.
me.
Now.
Welcome, y'all, to the Soulful and the Spirit Lifted. It's episode of our show. This is our first episode, y'all. We still trying to figure out where we want to take this, but it's all good and gravy. Okay, we just want to go where the energy flows. Period. Right. So this is where transparency meets the tea, healing meets the humor, and music meets real life. I am your host, the Body Positive Goddess, your self love coach, healer, and cosmic girly. Okay. And I am here to guide women through all the things of the heart, soul, and divine feminine power. Ain't that right, Raquel?
Yes, 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 yes.
Yes.
And my name is Raquez. I am the creator of the Shape campaign. I am a photographer and a basically all around lover of all things creative, especially music and film.
Mhm.
And this project this episode, this podcast that we're starting is kind of like I decided, I talked to Ashley. I was like, Ashley, look, we need to do something where we talk about projects and music and films that have
Mhm.
meant a lot to us. So we decided that we were going to I don't know yet how often we're going to do this. So this is our test run to
That's
see
right.
where what it's going to give and all the things. And so I'll let Ashley introduce what this project is.
Thank you, Raquel. So this is what we're doing today, okay? Baby, we are honoring a legend. Okay. We are giving all the flower to Miss Kelly Price, a woman with how can I say, a God given voice,
Hmm.
talent, gift, a
Hmm.
powerhouse range, because everybody can't do it like how Miss Kelly Price do it. Let's just be real. Okay.
And
um,
before you do that, Ashley,
yes.
I want to ask you because
Uh-huh.
so each episode is going to be like a project that I present and a project that
Hmm.
Ashley presents. So
Facts.
this project was my idea to
Uh-huh.
cover because I feel like it doesn't get enough shine. But
Hmm.
before we get into the project, what do you know about Kelly Price? Like, what was your first introduction to Kelly Price?
My first introduction to Kelly Price, I was young. I think I didn't really get a chance to listen to her albums like that back in the day. I want to say, because
Hmm.
I told you what, a month ago, I was like, oh my God, I don't think I listened to the whole album of The
Hmm.
Soul of a Woman. So
Yeah.
me listening to it now as an adult, I'm like, bitch, I feel you because I can
Hmm.
relate to it. Of course, I know she's heavy in the church. Her spirituality is a part of her lifestyle, and
Hmm.
you can see that, you can hear it through her voice, whether she's singing gospel music or secular, doesn't matter. It's her gift, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
So just her being, I think I want to say I heard her voice. No, I'm lying. It was through the 90s music,
Hmm.
R&B, and then I
Yep.
heard her go into the gospel, and then I was listening to the Grace album, Healing. That's one of my
Hmm.
favorite songs of hers. And
Hmm.
so
Hmm.
her voice is very soulful, it's heavy,
Hmm.
it's
Hmm.
strong.
Hmm.
You could just tell, like, her ancestors are working through that voice, baby. For sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I second that. So Kelly, I was introduced to Kelly Price through my mom. I think as a
Mm,
lot of like black young black kids, our moms, the women in the household, things like that, our dads, whatever, the music that they listen to, we adapt and it
yes.
becomes a big part of our childhood. So
Uh-huh.
I remember this album being on my mom's dresser when I was probably like, ooh, I've had to be like maybe 5 or 6 years old.
Yeah.
And I seeing this face, right? And I didn't know nothing about anything on this album. I didn't know nothing about it. But it was seeing that it was that picture always stood out to me. And my mom, was always a full figure woman, is a full figure woman. So it kind of like for me, she reminded me of my mom in certain instances, and my mom would go around the house singing her songs and stuff. So my first introduction to Kelly Price was through my mom at the age of like 6 years old. And you say your first song you heard was off of this album, but you didn't never hear the full
I
album.
did
For me,
not. Yeah.
I think for me, the first song that I heard was He Proposed, but that was later in her
Mm,
career. So
okay.
that was the first song that I remember hearing. But then when I go back and listen to this album, I'm like, oh, that does sound familiar from when I was a child as well.
Right.
So that was my introduction to Kelly Price. But go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was pretty much done. You you was
Yeah.
good.
So I guess the cat's out of the bag now. We are going to be reviewing Kelly Price's Soul of a Woman album. And
Yeah.
just give you a little background on Kelly Price. Kelly Price was born in New York City in Far Rockaway, Queens, Jamaica. And she got her professional start she started in church, as a lot of the greats do, Whitney and Mahalia, all these amazing singers. But Kelly Price grew up in the church,
Mhm.
and she started as a background singer for George Michael back in the
Mhm.
early 90s. And then she sang for a long time with Mariah Carey.
Yes.
And what I'm excited about with this episode that we're going to get into, we want to tie every music album or every film that we do, we want to tie it back to what we stand for. So like with me,
Right.
the Shape campaign, I'm about celebrating beauty and self-esteem, especially in women, but of all people for sure. And
Right.
so with Ashley, talk about what you do with the Body Positive Goddess.
For me, it's all about the self-love, and assisting women on their body love journeys and healing. So we will always tie it back into our personal experiences and just life in general. So
Mhm.
yeah. Hmm.
Yeah. So ultimately, we want to be able to not only, because I feel like there's a lot of, I love music. I was raised in a very musical family. So music is definitely my heart. Music is probably my first love, and then photography.
Hmm.
And so what I want to do is not only talk about the great music, but I want to tie how each song tells a story. And the album is called Soul of a Woman. So definitely talking about the esteem aspect and how I feel, me being a Black, gay, queer man, I think it's important to talk about my experiences and what I've seen my mom or women in my life go through. And
Hmm.
then when, actually you being a woman, a Black woman, your experiences, and then showing how the parallels kind of run together. So that's what we
Right.
want to focus on, but we're going to also have a good time and talk about
Okay.
all the stuff that goes on, and all the things of the things. So
All the tea.
I'm excited. I'm super excited. So
Absolutely.
Ashley, I'll toss the baton back over to you.
Okay, awesome. All right, so let's go ahead and get into this icebreaker. Let's get into the soul check-in, okay? All right, y'all. So for me, well, I'm gonna ask you, Raquez, what's your Kelly Price mood today? You can pick any song of hers. It can be on
Oh,
yes, any song.
oh. Well, I'm gonna be honest. I have been playing, so I got a little bit of story time.
Okay, that's fine. We got ears.
The other week, right? So we were
Mhm,
preparing for this episode about a couple weeks ago, and
mhm,
just I've been listening to the album, playing it in my car over and over and over and over and over and over again. And so I was at the stoplight, and it was like pitch black outside, and I was at the stoplight, and there were police officers that were pulled over. They had pulled somebody over on the side of the road, and I was playing the hell out of Friend of Mine.
mm,
She was a friend of mine. And
yeah.
so I was like, the windows were down. I was like, I had to blast in to the point where the officer, he was like shining his light at me. At first, I thought they were telling me to turn the music down or something. I was like,
Right,
I know they're
right.
not about to. But he was like, it was a Black officer. He was like,
Yeah.
I turned it down. He said, "You all right? You going through something over there?" Because he said you were.
He's like, you got that pretty
I was
loud.
like, I listen. So you talking about soul? I love. That's
Yeah.
probably, it's one of those. I'm gonna be honest. One of those songs. You know how, like, especially Ashley, I know you can relate to this, where you don't want to listen to certain things because you can allow certain things to come into your life based on what you're putting into your spirit. So
Absolutely.
I'd be like, I don't think I really should be listening to this that often, but
Yes.
it's so damn good that it's like,
Yeah.
yeah. So right, I would say today, I would say I'm gonna say secret love. I'm
Okay.
gonna say I know I did a complete 180,
It's
but I'm gonna say
okay.
secret. I'm gonna say secret love. Yeah,
Okay, well,
that's
we need to
yeah.
talk about it.
Uh-huh.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right. So, okay. So I do love that for you, right? But we're going to talk more about that. So,
Hmm.
okay, for me, my energy is very much so you complete me.
Ooh, I
And
love that
yes,
one.
that
I
song.
love
Okay,
that one.
we're gonna dive deep into it, but
Yes,
I am
yes, yes,
so
yes.
grateful for the creative all there is.
Hmm.
And I'm grateful for my partner, you know.
Hmm.
And now let's be clear, God completes me, I complete me, but
Hmm.
my partner is just a soul reflection.
Hmm.
And I appreciate him, and we'll get into that a little later. Y'all stay
Yeah,
watching
of course.
it.
Stick
Y'all stay
around. It's
watching.
gonna be good. It's
Yes,
gonna get real.
it's gonna get juicy, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So, did you want to go ahead and get into the soul confession segment?
Yeah, yeah. I'll let you take it away first.
Okay. All right. So it's time for the soul confession, y'all. I'm gonna start us off because I feel like I'm already exposed since I'm putting my business out there just a little bit. My confession is there were songs, and Raquez, you did bring this up a little earlier. But there were songs that I didn't appreciate until now. Until
Hmm.
life, I lived a little. I'll say that.
Hmm. Hmm.
Some lyrics didn't unlock until life humbled my ass. It rebuilt my ass, and it handed me some lessons. Right. So I have to say, like now, baby, I get it. I feel it. I honor it. And I feel like Kelly Price was out here telling women the truth, her truth, before we even had the vocabulary for real. She was
Hmm.
living her life. And I know she had went through um she was a young mom, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And just
Yeah.
going through that and then having to get married to her baby daddy and all of that. So life. She went
Hmm.
through life,
Yeah.
so that part right there. Yeah.
My soul confession, and I guess I should ask it this way then. Does it have to be something like personal about the album, that how it relates to the album, or just in general, like a soul
It's
confession?
whatever comes up for you, you know?
Ooh, what comes up for me? Okay. I
Yeah.
think for me, my soul confession is I I have been learning. I've been on the journey of not relying on external validation from other people.
Mm.
And what I mean by that is being okay with me enough that what I say goes when it comes to me.
Okay. Yeah.
And if someone likes it, then great. If someone doesn't like it, great.
Yeah. Yeah.
But not allowing that to change internally what's going on in my soul.
Mm.
Because I was listening to a show earlier today about happiness and what happiness really looks like. And a lot of times I feel like we base our happiness on what we think the world wants us to have, or what we should be at, where we should be at in our lives.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I I'm learning that my happiness may not look like what is the conventional standard. And that's
Eh,
okay. But
yeah.
it's again that external validation, not relying on that external validation to tell me that I'm okay. And
Yep.
even how it ties to this album with Kelly Price's story, her, you know, entered this career with the odds stacked against her because of her
Yeah.
external, how she looked.
Eh, yeah.
And we'll get into that
The
deeper as well.
adversity.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. So that's my soul confession.
I love that.
Yeah.
Okay, and see, this is why we're here, to visit these songs with with a grown folk ear.
Hmm.
For
Yeah.
real,
Yep.
All
Yep.
right. So do you want to go ahead and get into this track by track breakdown quiz? Are you ready for
Yeah.
that?
Yeah. We're gonna kick it off. So the
Yeah,
first track is an interlude, which I love interludes.
I
I
love
think
it.
interludes are, I feel like they're coming back a little bit, where like people will put
Definitely.
like a 30-second. Well, in this case, this was like, let me see, this was 1 minute and 16 seconds of
Yes.
interlude, but it gives you like a little sample. It's like almost like a sample of a song, but it's called Don't Go Away, track one.
Hmm.
Now, with this one, first of all, she opens up belting, so that it's
Mhm.
going to be a whole lot of vocals,
Emotional. Yes.
and so she's saying, "I don't want to lose the only love I've ever known. So baby,
Uh,
don't you go away." Now, as much as I love me some Kelly Price and I love this album, I do feel like there was a lot of pick meism going
yes.
on at
I
some
ain't gonna hold
points.
you. I ain't gonna hold you. I was thinking the
Yeah,
same thing. I was
yeah,
like, where that's
almost to
real.
a level of like desperation.
Yes, that's the
You
word.
know.
When I was listening to it, I was like, I've been there.
Hmm.
I've been there. Yeah.
Yeah,
So I get
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Mhm.
And Kelly at this time, I think she was about 24, 25. So she was
Mhm.
still a young, very young woman
Yeah.
and going through love, going through life.
Going through
So
life.
yeah, yeah. And so then we jump into Friend of Mine, which is this
Woo,
one
Jesus. Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
is
Let me
crazy because she came out swinging. Go ahead.
she did come out she did come out swinging, and I'm gonna be 100% transparent with y'all. I know I ain't gotta tell my business, but this is a part of my story. I've been on both sides of the spectrum. No, it was nobody that I really knew, but it was a very similar situation. So with a friend of mine, it's deep. It's about betrayal, it's about heartbreak, and the soul level of disappointment in a song form. And that alone right there is y'all, that shit is deep. That shit is deep. When she said, and like you said, when she said you took all I had,
Hmm.
again, it was like it's centered around a man. You know what I'm saying? Like she felt like that man was her life. And the so-called best friend in her story,
Hmm.
jealousy, envy, and then this is one thing I do want to say, y'all. I get y'all feel like y'all best friends are your sisters and everything
Hmm.
like that in that nature, but stop telling y'all business. Y'all just never know. You just never know. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a story out right now where a woman, she was a friend to another woman and took her husband.
Hmm.
And now her ass is getting sued for a meal or something like that.
Hmm.
So be careful with who you allow in your relationship. Your relationship is your business and your business alone. If you know you're not gonna leave your partner, mind your just that's your business. That's your business. And that's
But
again with destiny swapping for me. Like that's how
so
I feel.
I want to kind of challenge what you're saying.
Go ahead.
So you say you've been on both sides, right?
Yes, I have.
But where
Yeah.
does sisterhood show up? Do you believe that sisterhood is a real thing amongst women? Like women should have that code of.
I do feel like sisterhood is a real thing, but I do feel like that starts with you and your
Mhm,
healing, especially with yourself and then with your mom. Like,
mhm,
what does your relationship with your mama look like? That's your first friend, your female friend.
mm,
And it's okay if
gotcha.
you and your mom don't got it. Y'all don't have to have the best type of relationship, but that's where
Yeah.
your sisterhood starts. And then you may have a real blood sister and a friend, but um I don't feel like your relationship should be out in the open like that. Like your every no, I don't, I'm because I'm more private when it comes to that. Because I
Mhm,
feel like that is a portal for people to come and say what they want to say, do what they
mhm.
want to do about your relationship. Here, you may have come to someone to vent about your relationship. And then, of course, you may have forgiven your partner, but then that friend or your, family member, they still remember what the fuck they did to you and what you said to them. So when they come around, it's kind of like they looking at you crazy, like you still with this person and they did this, that, and the third, or whatever they did or said to you. They're gonna. It's just to me,
But
it's
do
just
you
a bit
feel like
much.
I
Mm-mm.
hear what you're saying, Ashley. I do. But do
Mm-hmm.
you feel like it's just based on if you're telling your friend or your sister what's going on wrong in your relationship? Because in here it sounds like what Kelly was saying. She was there for this person. Her friend.
Yes.
She was like the person that had her back, and when she didn't have
Right.
anything, and so it doesn't sound like she was like telling her, "Oh, me and my man's going through this or whatever." It sounds like she was saying, "I let you come into my home and eat from my table, and then you." mess around with my man. So it's like I when like she said, I feel so lost, don't know why this has happened to me.
And
You
I
know?
get that. Yeah, I do. I enter and overstand that quest, but if they were to me in my perception, I hear they were close. They were sisters, which means
Hmm.
it wasn't just
Yeah.
one-sided. If she was a best friend, then that was a
Hmm.
best friend, which means Kelly was having issues. Listen to the whole album, she was having issues in her relationship.
Hmm.
And so she was talking to her best friend because that's
Hmm.
why her best friend was able to come in and do what she did. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Because if you give someone too much information, they can take that and run with it. You know what I'm saying?
So you feel like, if I hear you correctly, you're saying that Kelly opened the door by even allowing
I'm
her to
gonna
get
I'm
that
gonna be
close.
real. I'm gonna be real. Yes, because
Okay.
although people may have the best intentions at heart, like Kelly. She was like, "Look, I already know my girl not gonna do this to me." It wasn't even a thought. What we can pick
Mm-hmm.
up from the song, it wasn't a thought that her husband was gonna sit up here and do what he did.
Mm-hmm.
However, you still don't want to open the door for any of that to happen. You are allowing another woman to come into your house. You don't. Yes, you will want people to be grown. You want to be
Mm-hmm.
able to trust your husband or your best friend or whoever you have in your house. However, and
Mm-hmm.
this could be very well me speaking from what I've heard, what I've experienced. It could be coming from a place of trauma, I guess. But I would not have a woman just come over my house. Friend, I can help you get a room so you can have your privacy. I'm not going to set myself up for none of
Mm-hmm.
that. I just won't do it. I'm
So
not doing
are
it.
you saying that Kelly's to blame for her
I'm not
own
saying that
situation?
Kelly's to blame, but I am saying that at that time where she was mentally,
Yeah.
at that time, because she's a grown ass woman, she knows
Yeah.
shit now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But when you haven't gone through nothing, you
Mm-hmm.
don't you green, you green. Just because you are a good person and you won't do this and you won't do that, that doesn't
Mm-hmm.
mean that the other person won't do that. You know what I'm saying? They could very well do that or
I
be
don't know.
evil.
Actually, I have to disagree with you because
Okay.
I feel like if anything, I feel like you're not giving much accountability to the man because it's like
Oh,
what role does he play in it? Because if I mean,
let's
yes, she's talking about her friend, but yes, and we're talking specifically friend of mine, so obviously it's not
yes,
more than man of mine, it's
yes,
friend of mine. So, but I feel
yes.
like if we're gonna look at her man, it's like you knew this was
Yo,
my girl, so why would
yeah,
you
yeah, yeah.
bring? You know what I'm saying? So
I'm
it's
not
like,
negating. He damn sure. No, he damn sure. Yes, yes, yes. He has to take accountability as well too because he wrong as two left shoes, baby. He
mhm, yeah,
wrong. You know what
yeah,
I'm saying? We're not gonna sit and be like, no, no. Yes, she's my friend, but you're my husband.
hmm,
Where's the now I can't trust you. You know what I'm saying?
hmm.
Like we have vows. Where is that? Where's the trust? Where's the communication? What happened? Like I can't. I don't put nothing past nobody because I'm a firm believer of yes, people have morals and values and integrity, but
Hmm.
you know what you're going to do in a certain situation.
Now let me ask you this because you say you've been on both sides. So
Yes,
what is that? You've been the villain in this
yes,
situation. So
yes.
tell, is that why you feel so strong about it? I can tell you passionate about this.
I'm very
So
passionate because
do, yeah.
I don't know. I get exactly what you're saying. I would have to say yes because I've been on both sides. Because before then, I was like again, I was green, so I didn't think that person wouldn't do that. That person
Mm.
wouldn't do it and turn around. They definitely would do that. They were doing it. You know what I'm saying? So to me,
But
it's
no, I'm saying,
like
have you been the perpetrator? Have you been the friend that messed with someone else's man? Mess with your friend's man?
he wasn't my friend.
Okay, gotcha.
You know what I'm talking about. So yeah, Quick like okay.
Oh,
Let me say that. He
okay.
wasn't my friend.
Yeah,
Either
yeah,
way around it, it was still
yeah.
wrong. That's what I say it was similar,
Hmm.
but
Gotcha.
it was still too
Okay.
close. It was still
Okay.
too close. Yeah.
Gotcha. And let me
That
add the
part.
messy part in that a little bit and say it ain't always your sister or woman friend either that you got to be worried about either. So, because
Facts.
sometimes when these men they have guy friends that they are a
Facts.
little close to. You got to watch carefully.
Facts.
That's all I'll say. That's all I'll say.
That's true. And then it could be some destiny swapping in that. You know what I'm saying? Like someone could really be jealous of the life that you're living with your person and they want that
Hmm.
for themselves and they
Hmm.
can't get it or they don't have it at the time.
Yep.
So I just say tread lightly, use your intuition. How do you feel about it? What's your breakdown on a friend of mine? Because I know you said she came out
She
punching.
did. I mean, I love the song.
Yeah.
I sing it like I had been through this myself, and
Yeah.
I've never been through this, Bill, and I hope I
Yeah.
never have to go through something like this.
Right, right.
But I will say that Kelly's passion and the way she emotes the song,
Oh
I
yeah.
can tell that, like, I mean, she wrote these songs. That's one of the things I love about it, is because she wrote these songs. So it's like
Yeah,
you know that it came from somewhere.
that
And
part.
even in her interviews, I've watched a lot of her interviews. She talks about maybe not everything is directly her story, but it's people
Right,
that she knows around her. So
right,
like you were saying, people that you know, a friend of a person that you know. And
right.
so for me, Friend of Mine is like one of those songs. First of all, it's my favorite song on the album. I'll just say that.
Mhm,
But I'll
mhm.
say also there's a sense of agony that I feel like, almost like,
Oh,
you know how
yes.
like your heart has been broken and
Ah.
like you just feel like it's like when, especially at the end, she's like, "How could you do it?" Like all of that, like just she's just like, I could just see
No,
her in
I
the
feel
studio,
you.
just like, you
Yes.
know,
She's
and it's
singing
like,
from that trauma, that
right.
pain.
So
Yeah.
I think
Mhm.
you know how they say like grief is in different stages. So it's
Yeah.
like denial. I don't know. I'm not saying in order, but it's like
Right.
denial, anger, disbelief, all that kind of stuff. So I
Right.
feel like this is like her first part of the grief. Like
Okay.
she's
I
in
see.
almost in disbelief that you had the
Yeah.
unmitigated gall to do this to me after all the things I've done for you. And
Yeah.
then now it's like, does it go volatile? Because now we've
Mhm.
heard of situations going terrible, like where I heard the story about this woman. They weren't friends, but her man was messing with a woman in like Florida or somewhere, and she got on a plane and drove and flew all the way there just to confront the woman, and ended up killing the woman. And now she's sitting in jail, and the man that moved on with his life, and they
But I
got
was just about to say she didn't say
married or
nothing to the
whatever.
man
Well, I don't know, but either way, she went through all of that just
just
for
to
the sake of getting
that
back
part.
at the other woman. But it's
True.
like, so this to me is like the first part of that. It could
Mm,
go that way, but hopefully it doesn't. We'll see as the album progresses. But it starts as that at that disbelief stage, and then
mm,
it can traverse into, now I'm angry and I want to get revenge and I'm vindictive. You know what I'm saying? So then
mhm.
you get to like a Jasmine Sullivan bust the windows out your car kind of
Yeah.
thing,
Or the
or
lemonade, Beyonce.
a right,
The
or
lemonade.
eliminate
Yes.
exactly. So,
Uh-huh.
but I think that acknowledging it is like the first stage.
Facts.
You know,
And
acknowledging
then
it.
and I'm gonna bring this up too. Even in the interview you sent me of Kelly Price on what's the name of it?
The Breakfast
The
Club.
Breakfast Club.
Yeah.
Yes, she even said she really didn't give herself enough time to grieve.
Hmm.
So not saying that could be. I know she said grieving with a loss of
Hmm.
loved ones, but
Hmm.
if you know what I'm saying, if that's if
Yeah.
you're doing that with that, then I'm pretty sure she's probably have done that with other
Yeah.
things. I've done
For
that
sure.
too, you know.
Yep.
So
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I will say, like I said, this song is crazy because, and we'll get to the remix version of this song,
Oh
but
yeah.
I feel like that this song is definitely, this should have been like, to me, this song is way more superior than the remix, in my opinion. And this
Yes.
was a single though. This was her first single off of this album.
Mhm.
So it was released. The album was released on August the, let me go back to it, August the 11th, 1998. So this album was the first single. This song was the first single off that album. So
Yes.
definitely a perfect way to open the album. And then we go on to Secret Love. Tell me what Secret Love meant for you, because like, oh yeah, I meant to say this too, this is your first time hearing this album all the way through. So
Yes.
me, I've heard this album all the way through. Probably the first time, maybe 2021 was the first time I
Okay.
heard it all the way through. I've heard bits and pieces like you, but this is the first time I actually gave it a full listen. So with
Okay.
Secret Love, what was that? How did that make you feel?
Okay. This is my perspective of it.
Mhm.
So With this one, listen, I feel I've been there. I've been there. Having a secret love can be fun. It can be sexy. It can also
Mm-hmm.
be chaotic. In a little chaotic little situation. Not being able to tell your friends and your people like, hey, I got a new boo. This is it.
Mm-hmm.
Boo.
Mm-hmm.
And hiding some details and keeping it low key because it's either the relationship is either like taboo or
Mm-hmm.
it's too early, just nobody's business, or it might just be a temporary little thing. You know what I'm saying? Deep down
Yeah.
inside, you like, look, I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
have my fun. It's just temporary. I
Mm-hmm.
don't see us going nowhere. But it's a short-lived connection. It's strong. It's intense, and usually those strong, short connections can be somewhat karmic. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So,
Mm-hmm.
that's when they come in. Just as fast as they come in, they
They
go
out.
just as quickly.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So the anticipation of a new relationship, the lust of it all, like it be the
Mm-hmm.
lust for me too. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? So the little
Mm-hmm.
sneaky link,
Mm-hmm.
that's what I got in the with the song. Yeah. What's your
I think this is a clear
yeah.
dichotomy of what you just a
Yeah.
juxtaposition of what you just said about friend of mine.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Because and I
Oh
didn't think
yeah.
about that until you said that just now
Yes.
previously.
Yes.
Because like now you're secretive about it because
Mm-hmm.
you know what people do, they mess around with your
Mm-hmm.
man, you know what I'm saying, can't tell you nothing now because you didn't show me you ain't worthy of it. But it's like
Right.
now it's like when she like the pain now it's pain, it's a different kind of pain. It's
Yeah.
like a I want to share this but I'm afraid to share it because if I
Yeah.
do I don't know what may happen. I may end up
That,
in a friend of
mm-hmm.
mine situation again. So it's like
Mm-hmm.
I have this secret, and this is like probably my second favorite song on this album because
Mm.
I love the way Kelly Price sings throughout this album because to me it always feels like the only song where I felt like she really like was putting a lot of effort in was Friend of Mine and Don't Go Away, like
I
those
see what you're
belty
saying.
songs. This song it sounded like she was just great grazing through it, like
Grace, mm-hmm.
like I got a secret I ain't even tell my friends,
Yeah,
like she was
yeah,
just going through it like just almost like it was just easy for her to just
yeah.
effortlessly sing it. And so
Mhm,
for me it's just a feel good song, like it makes you want
mhm.
to have a secret love, like
Yeah.
I
Uh-huh.
want somebody to be I'm crushing with just so I can sing the song and like really like mean it, you know?
Matter of
So
fact, yeah, Quest, I agree. That song reminds me of As We Lay. You remember that
mm,
song? That's
I
this is
remember
what it
y'all.
reminds me of, even though I know because I think Kelly Price, she did sing that song, but it was
She did,
by,
yeah.
what's
Shirley
the other
Murdoch. Shirley
yes,
Murdoch. Yeah.
yes, 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 yes.
Yeah.
So this is what it reminds me of.
hmm
Yeah.
It's interesting because As We Lay is like she became a friend of mine.
Mm,
Well, not
mm.
really, because the person she didn't probably know the person, but she was the
Yeah.
perpetrator of cheating with a married man. So it's like,
Yes, yes,
you
yes,
know,
yes,
but
yes,
I can
yes.
definitely see where you're coming from, like with
Yeah,
the whole aspect of just like you said, sneaky link, kind of like keep it
taboo.
discreet
Yeah.
on the
Mhm.
DL. You know what I'm saying? So I get that. I definitely get that. I will say with this song, it's kind of like, but then she has a part where she says it's out in the open. Our cover is blown.
Oh yeah, at the end she
You know
did
what I'm
say that.
saying? And I don't
Yeah,
really care who
yeah.
knows.
At this point, yeah, that's how she felt.
So it's like, okay. So then when you get exposed,
Ugh.
and the other thing I want to make sure we keep a measurement on is talking about how it goes back to the esteem. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like you're putting
Yeah.
yourself out there, and that's one of the things that I have had challenges with is like
Mhm.
you put yourself out there, but you know that this is a risk that you take
Mhm.
of getting hurt. You hope that's not the case, but when you put yourself out there, that is a risk that you take. Sometimes you could get hurt, but sometimes you could really win and gain a love experience. And the way that I've heard it said, and I really like the way it was explained, was like relationships are not always supposed to be long term, but they're
Mhm.
supposed to come in and teach you something, teach you
A
life
lesson.
lessons.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
absolutely.
saying? So then when you go to the next relationship, you have things experience, hopefully not trauma or too
Yeah,
much trauma, but you have experiences that will allow you to become a better you and to
that part.
learn how to care and love for someone. So,
Yeah. And just to piggyback off of what you just said, everybody it's not meant for a long-term relationship.
Hmm.
What relationships teach you is really about yourself. It's really
Hmm.
about yourself because they mirror who you are and where you are
Yep.
at that time and what you need to focus on. Because I know for me, my biggest thing was I was desperate.
Hmm.
So listening to this album, I was like, girl, I'm like, damn, I see where you was at, but I feel you
Yeah.
because I was there. I know what it feels like to wanting to feel loved
Hmm.
and, and to wanting to trust your man and be
Yeah.
there through thick and thin and, and just
And
wanting that
and
love and
and
affection.
what you're saying with that desperation, now, and this is a good segue for this part. So Kelly, when she came out, like I said, she started with George Michael and Mariah
Mm-hmm.
Carey as singing
Right.
background. But with this album, I remember her saying that when they released the first single, "Friend of Mine,"
Uh-huh.
they didn't have an actual video for it or anything, and they didn't have a photo of her. Actually, they just
I
released the song, and
hear
they
that.
intentionally did that because they wanted it to be about the music and not how she looked. And I
Which
think that, go ahead.
no, baby, go ahead. I'm sorry, because I
But
get I get very
I was just
passionate
gonna
about
say that
this.
that's a big important factor to note, because it's like, so this is one of the things that really pisses me off, and I'm gonna be a little like just upfront about this. So there's this quote, and I'm not gonna say this disgusting quote because it's not necessary, but there's this like meme. It's like where people will make Kelly the butt of the joke. You may have heard it before. You know what I'm talking about?
Go ahead.
They'll be
Uh-huh.
like,
Uh-huh.
I'm not gonna say it, but it's like they'll say a blank 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 Kelly Price. You've
Mm-mm.
never heard that. The listeners will probably know, but basically they will use Kelly's weight as the butt of the joke. So they'll say because of her weight, her size, that she deserves to be criticized or mocked or laughed at. And I know people have mixed feelings about Kelly Price or whatever, but I think Kelly Price was super important for the culture. I'm gonna tell you why. Because I remember her saying that Ronald Isley, which he's the one that gave her first record
Right.
deal. I remember her saying that he told her there are more women that look like you that don't
Yes,
than
then
don't
don't. Mm-hmm.
than don't. And
Mm-hmm.
so she was relatable.
Yeah, very
She
relatable.
was relatable in in the era where you had Aaliyah and Brandy
Yes.
and Monica and all these amazing Tony Rex and all these amazing
Uh-huh.
singers, but Kelly was the only one holding it down for the full figure women at that
Right.
time. That was actually, you know what I'm saying. And even then, she still got stifled. I feel like, where they didn't want to, like I said, they didn't want to put her picture out there because they didn't know how people were going to receive her.
Which is bullshit. Like I remember her saying, because I feel like she paved the way for a lot of the plus size girls, you know what I'm
Mhm,
saying? Like Lizzo,
mhm. Yep. Yep.
Um, and yes, I feel like the world that we live in still has some maturing to do when it
Hmm.
comes to societal what's the word I'm looking for, Quiz?
Beauty standards.
Beauty standards.
Yeah.
So it's like w- why are we so focused on the look of a person? Why not the talent? Why not the gift? Okay,
Hmm.
she's a big girl, and so what? You know what I'm saying? Because they've done that. This is not the first time the industry has they done that. They do this shit all the time, you know.
Yeah.
But I just feel like when are we going to grow up?
And I think it points at a bigger issue too, though, because it's like I told you early on, my first introduction to Kelly Price was seeing her album on my mom's dresser. When my mom would be getting ready to go out and party and do her things and hang out with her friends and stuff.
Right, right,
And my
right,
mom was full figured. My aunts were
right.
full figured. My grandma
Same
was
in my.
full figured.
I'm full
I
figured. Yeah,
the people I grew up seeing, like, so even when like people, you mentioned Lizzo, when people
yeah.
were making a big deal about Lizzo, I didn't get the hype. I didn't get the issue. I'm like, she looks like women that I grew up knowing.
Right.
I didn't see her being this size that people were trying to make her out. And you know what I'm saying? Yes, she was heavier than probably most women in the mainstream, but
Mhm.
I didn't see it as being something that was taboo. You know, it
No,
just
I
felt normal to
didn't.
me.
Yeah, of course, I'm a big girl, so I'm, like, celebrating, I'm like, "Yes,
Hmm.
finally,"
Hmm.
but, um, you I can enter and understand the pressure that sh Lizzo and Kelly Price
Hmm.
could
Mm-hmm.
probably still be feeling, because it's like,
Yep.
even if she lost Lizzo lost weight, Kelly Price lost weight, and they
Mhm.
still weren't happy.
Yeah.
Oh, she
Yeah.
lost too much weight. Oh, she didn't lose
Exactly.
enough weight. So it's like,
Exactly.
that's why I love when she said in her interview, she was like, not verbatim, but she was like, how about I just lose weight for me?
For you.
You may
Yeah.
not, the way that I've lost, I feel good in my body. I look good in my body. This is what I love. This is what I like. You can
Hmm.
feel how you feel. That's fine. But it ain't got nothing to do with me. You know what I'm saying?
And I
So,
think too, like, so I remember her saying this is before this album came out, before she got her first record deal.
mhm.
She was gonna sign with a label, and they had, she was going in to the board office meeting to do her paperwork and everything, and they had a
Oh
meeting,
yeah.
and so there were people all around her in the office. And so she was kind of taken aback because you thinking you're about to sign to a label, it's supposed to be like a happy time, but it was like a
Right.
somber kind of mood.
Very
And
awkward.
they
Yeah.
told her that we need you to lose a lot of weight.
Yes. Yeah.
And it's kind of like, well, she was like, well, so who gets to decide when too much is enough,
Right.
or when is enough? Who gets to decide when it's too much, or when I still need to lose more? So it's like you said, losing it for me, for you,
Right.
for
But
her.
they didn't know. They couldn't give her an answer. That's why
Exactly.
I was like, bullshit.
Hmm.
Like, you know
Exactly.
what I'm saying? So,
Yep. So what I don't like about it, Ashley, if I'm being real with you, I don't like how people talk about it so objectively, where you forget you're talking about a human being that has
it's that for
emotions and
me.
feelings. It's
It's
like you're
that for
talking
me.
about a product. Like, oh, well, maybe
Yes.
we should trim this much off of the person, or like it's like you're talking
Yes.
about a human being that has feelings, that has to live in this existence, and that has to see how
Right.
they look in the world compared to other people that may be much smaller than them. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So that, to me, forget all of the politics about it. You're, at the end of the day, the comments, the negativity around it, all the things you're saying, those words, they still resonate.
They sting.
They sting.
And people act like you can just say it and be like, "Okay, you'll be all right. Maybe
Hmm.
this will help you lose weight." I'm
Yeah.
like, "Bitch, for real?" If
Yeah.
someone said, "Okay, you funny
Yeah.
looking, you ugly, or your legs too
Yeah.
small," or whatever the case
Yeah.
may be, you will feel
Yeah.
some type of way.
Yeah. Yeah. And I've had to check a couple people myself
I
that
have
just
to.
even like that I've come into contact with. Like, so like there was this guy I was having a conversation with, and he made a comment about Kelly Price. I was telling him about the song or something. It was something I forgot how it came up in conversation, but
Mhm.
he made a joke about her. And I checked him. I said, don't talk like, don't say that to me, around me, about her or anyone like her. And it wasn't me
Mhm.
trying to be like the moral police or anything, but it's just like I felt like you got to stand for something. And he actually told me
Yeah.
he respected that I had. He said he wouldn't say it anymore, what he did say. And for me, it's like I don't know. It's like it's when it's a real passion for you, it's like you take that same mission wherever you go.
That
You got
part.
to, and that's how
That
we
part.
we start to make a change, when we are willing to speak up and advocate, even when it may not be comfortable or may not be
Yeah.
popular, to say something.
Yeah. I
Mm-hmm.
agree. I
Mm-hmm.
agree.
And I
But
remember you saying too, Ash. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
no, go ahead. Go ahead. Go
I was
ahead.
gonna say, I remember you saying that there was something you felt about with Lizzo and her weight loss. Almost like it seemed
Yeah.
like you felt like she didn't lose it for her, but because of the pressure.
I do feel like part of that was due to pressure from externally.
Hmm.
I mean, I do believe she wanted to lose weight to be healthier. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? I don't know Lizzo. I haven't talked to her in person to know,
Hmm.
what her mental was about while she was losing weight or before she decided to lose weight. But I do feel like a lot of that came from external factors. I do.
Hmm.
I do,
Yeah.
because I do remember her. I think it was, let me not quote me on this, but I do remember. Matter of fact, I think it was on the dance show that she had on Amazon when,
Mm. I forgot about that show. She sure did
yes,
have a, yeah, yeah.
yes, but I think please don't quote me on it, but she said something like, she was just tired of people coming at her.
Hmm.
And one of the ladies that I think one of her, I can't remember who she was to her, but she was like, "You are you for a reason."
Yep.
Just like what they told Kelly Price, like, if it wasn't for you, this would
Hmm.
not be. And
Yeah.
so But even just with my own story and my own journey when it comes to being in a fat body, like that do sound good at the time when when you have some people like, hey, like, Ash, you are you, but at the same time, it's like you don't understand what it feels like you said, those words still play in the
Yeah.
subconscious mind, and it still
Yep.
hurts sometimes.
Yeah.
And yes, we can build our backbone. I do have a thick backbone, but sometimes it's just like, bitch, I want to cry because that shit didn't that hurt what you said, especially when it comes from your grandmother or
Yeah. Yeah.
family and friends or even strangers. You like, bitch, who are you to even say that to me? You know what I'm saying? And you over here with your teeth jacked up, or you over here smelling like pee, or whatever the case may be. My thing is, people need to, like you said, we're human beings. Just because we're fat, that doesn't mean we're not human beings. You know what I'm saying? Everybody, if
Hmm.
it was meant for everybody to be skinny, then we will be skinny. If it was meant for
Yeah.
everybody to have a fat ass, everybody will have a fat ass. Everybody are not meant to have curves. Everybody are not
Yeah.
meant to be have whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's why we are different for a reason.
Yeah. Absolutely. And even what you just said with Lizzo, like, yeah, I mean, you can put up this facade of confidence as long as you want
Yes.
to, but it's gonna eventually permeate if you're not able
Yes.
to regulate your thought process enough to
Yes.
be able to get that off of you.
Yeah.
And even with Kelly, like well, but now it's probably like maybe a couple months ago where she had her situation where she people were talking about her on stage and her performance and all that, and
Oh,
she
yeah.
lashed out,
My
but
heart
I
has
get it.
been.
I understood it. Yeah, I understood it. I don't even think it was really about the outfit
Was
as much.
it?
I felt like
Okay.
I mean, it was about the outfit. They were saying stuff about her outfit, but I think while she lashed out, I empathize with her. I didn't
Yes.
even though I didn't agree with what she said, I didn't agree with
Mhm.
that. But I empathize with her because I felt like this is pain. Like
Mhm.
you've been taking this your whole career.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And
Yes.
you think, oh, you should be used to it. No, you
No.
don't get you. Yeah, sometimes you might get used to certain things, but it's
Mhm.
like when is enough enough? Like
Depend on,
when
yep. I'm
you know what I'm
sorry,
saying? Like when is
baby.
enough enough? It's like so I understood it. I understood like with Lizzo, like I do too. I share that same sentiment with you. Like
Yep.
I feel like it was more so about just stopping the noise. Now you're
Yes.
like, now
Mm.
it's like, oh, she looks so good. Oh, she's so beautiful. She's always been
She
good. She's
only
always
lost.
looked
She
good,
only been
beautiful. You
but
know?
now she's hearing, oh, she just did it. She never really was confident, or she lost too much. We're
Exactly.
still
Yeah.
hearing the noise, so it doesn't
Yeah.
stop. That's why you
Yep.
have to do it for yourself. People gonna always
Exactly.
have shit to say. They're gonna always have shit to say.
Hmm.
So
I love Monique. I
Monique, yeah,
love
she
me some
another
Monique.
one. Yes,
And
and
it's
she was
like,
out in the 90s.
and I get why I get I get why they change to be healthier.
Yes.
I get that, but I feel like it can alienate people too. Because the
Mhm.
people that were, oh, I'm PHAT, all of this amazing stuff.
Right.
But now the women that are still there, yes, they
Yeah.
can catch up to you and do that with you now if you want, if they want to. But what about it? Maybe I just feel like it sends a mixed message because it's kind of like, am I not good enough?
Yeah.
Should I mean, you're doing this now, so maybe did you really believe all the things you were saying? Even though you're healthier now,
Yeah.
that doesn't always mean you're going to be smaller.
Right. And I do feel like at that time she did feel like that at that time and at that
Hmm.
moment, because you know
Hmm.
how humans, we sometimes our emotions flow with the wind go. Like it just
Yeah.
one day you could feel very confident, and confidence varies. It doesn't necessarily is always at a 10 every
Hmm.
single day. It's in
Hmm.
365. No, it doesn't. Confidence don't work like that. You know what
Hmm.
I'm saying? It's okay for you to not feel fucking confident. Maybe one day
Yeah.
you're like, you know what? I want to change because I'm tired of being winded.
Yeah.
It may not
Yeah.
necessarily have to be about the weight. You can be smaller and feel like you're out of shape. So it doesn't necessarily have to be that you're a big body, and just because you're big doesn't mean you're not healthy.
That
That to
part.
me is bullshit.
That
Because
part.
I'm not saying now, because right now I got some stuff I got to work on. But I've been to the doctor, 300 pounds. My all of my numbers were, baby, it was given A1. Okay. And
Mhm.
my A1C was very much so normal. Everything was normal. But it's just to show you that you can work, you can be a freaking personal trainer and
Mhm.
still not love your body. So to me, it is it's his to me, body positivity, self-love, all of that and healing goes hand in hand because you got to go to the root issue to what it is. Why do you feel so conscious about your body? You
Mhm.
know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So it's deeper than just, okay, girl, we losing weight or we looking, I want to look like this or look like that. No, like
Mhm.
this came from somewhere.
It came
This
from
was
somewhere.
someone,
Yeah.
somebody projected their insecurities onto you.
Yep.
That's why you feel that way. I didn't even know my body shape was different until someone pointed it out to me. Because I
Mhm.
was like, okay, well, I was young, I was a child. I didn't know. I didn't know my body was different. But then once I started coming out into the world, I'm like, look at social media, people bullying me. I was like, okay, I am different. So that's what I'm saying. Like, go ahead,
And
boo. Go ahead.
that takes me back to the importance of representation, because if you see,
Representation.
like you said, you didn't even know it until
I didn't
somebody
know.
pointed it out to you. But if
Hmm.
you had already seen other versions of yourself being celebrated and represented, I
That
don't even
part.
think it would have really, yeah, maybe yours may have been unique, but it doesn't have to necessarily be a bad thing because it's different,
Right.
you
Right.
know.
Right.
It really doesn't.
Right.
And even with, I feel like we've been on this part for a while, but I keep driving home the fact that for me it's like I don't even like some of these terms. Like, and I really hate to repeat them because I feel like it only gives them more life. Like
Okay. Yeah.
this new terminology that they call women that are bigger, or just people
Hmm.
that are bigger. About when you say like back,
Back.
I think you don't talk about like your back, like the
Oh, big back.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So
I
it's like
don't get.
even stuff like that. I mean, I get it. It can be like said in a
I
joking manner,
I
but it
don't
started from
get.
yeah.
But I don't get all in my feels about it because I'm like, my back is pretty wide and I'm a fat girl. Just like if you were skinny, you skinny or you're smaller or you're
But
thin.
the point
I
that I'm
don't
making is
really.
it's dehumanizing.
I see what you're
It's
saying.
like you become the butt of a joke. Like I'm
I
not saying
see
it
what
has to be always serious all the time. I'm not saying I like to laugh and I'm goofy and stuff, but I think you have to know balance.
Yeah, I get
When is
it.
that a little bit too far?
I get it. Yeah.
You know, it
I get
just
what you're saying.
I don't know. It just to me it's I had to catch myself. I was talking to my sister about something, and she was telling me about all this food that she ate, and I said, "Oh, that's big." Like, but I wasn't saying it in a sense of saying she's big, but I felt bad. I had to check
I see
myself
what you
because I
mean.
have friends that are
Yeah.
bigger, and I
Yeah.
love them, and I think they're amazing and beautiful. But
Yeah.
I still have to check myself because it's like you have to walk the walk that you
I
say
see
that
what you're
you know what I'm
saying.
saying. What
Yeah,
is it
I
like
see
me saying
exactly
this
what
stuff
you're
behind
saying.
the scenes, but I'm out here
Right.
I have fat friends. Oh, but
Yeah.
that's what white people say. I have black friends, but yeah, but you're still perpetuating racism and all these other things too.
Right, right. I get
So
what
you
you're
have to
saying.
be the change that you want to see, right? So,
Period. Period.
but
Ooh,
anyway,
yes.
did you have anything else about secret love?
No,
Because
I feel
I
like
know we
we
were
went
on there
into
for a long
that.
time.
Yes.
We
We
in.
went in.
So now we are on yours. Don't say goodbye. Tell me
Don't
about it.
say goodbye. So
Oh
with
no, you
this
said
song,
you complete me. That's
yeah,
what you
you
said.
complete
Okay,
me, but this
okay,
is still
okay.
a good relationship song because to me, this song is relationship realness. It's about
Hmm.
the rough patches, the
Hmm.
disagreements,
Hmm.
the everyday problems, the test of your bond. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? But to me, depending on the people, depending of the foundation, if it's a solid foundation, it can make your relationship stronger. This is what I heard in the song. Love is going back to what I said earlier about how you can mirror each other. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Like you said, the lessons, you know what I'm saying? So that's not going to always look like rainbows and unicorns and glitter and kikiing, like it doesn't necessarily have to be a romantic thing. Like, talk, but let's talk about me and you, Quez. Me and you
Hmm.
are, you, my brother, right? I'm your
Yeah.
sister. There are
Yeah.
times when we have come to Jesus
Yeah. Yeah.
and you know what I'm saying? Because we mirror each other in certain ways. So, but
Hmm.
if you both work or if you're actively healing and actively working on yourself, you'll be able to sort out the bullshit from okay, you know what? You right, bro.
Hmm.
Okay, I
Hmm.
see what you're saying. Let's go ahead and
Yeah.
let's go
Yeah.
ahead and fix this and let's continue to go on our journey because apparently
Hmm.
we're here for a reason. So to me, don't say goodbye is about the foundation of a relationship. It can either
Mhm.
make you or break you. So that's all I have.
You touched on something really important when you said about you doing your own internal healing work and
Yeah.
stuff, and I think that that's where for me, you can't have a successful resolution in a relationship if you both aren't willing to show up for yourselves and to be
Facts.
able to allow yourself to, first of all, being introspective,
Yeah. Ooh,
introspective,
oh,
introspective, introspective. Where do I show up in this? What accountability do I take into this? How
right.
could I have acted different, or maybe changed the trajectory of the situation by
Fact.
something I would have said differently? You know what I'm saying? So I
Right.
think if you have two people that are willing to do that, you can't but help but resolve the relationship, because I don't see
Right.
how it doesn't resolve, even if that means maybe we don't do relationship anymore, but we can still
Mm-hmm.
leave on amicable terms and be,
Facts.
have peace. You know what I'm saying? So I think
Facts.
that it goes back to that. One thing I will say about this song, though, even though it is a great song and I love this song, I really, really do. I don't like the part where she says, "Without you, there is no me,"
Oh
because
yeah.
it
Shit.
becomes
That got
this
me
thing,
too.
you know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying, where like that, and it kind of, when we get into "You Complete Me," it kind of ties into that same arc of like, I need you. I'm nothing without you. I can't do this without you. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? It sounds romanticized to say that without you there is no, but
Yeah.
no, there still has to be a you, even if that person decides to walk away.
That part.
Otherwise, you end back up in the friend of mine situation, and we don't want that for you. You know what I'm saying?
No,
So
that's
you got
real.
to still be able to move forward for sure.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. That's true.
Now we get into Kiss Test.
Yeah.
So this one, I don't like this song. I'm gonna be honest with you. This is my least favorite song on this album.
Okay.
I I think because, I mean, it has a nice, decent groove to it,
Yeah.
but it's just one of those songs I usually skip it when it comes up.
Why?
But
Why is that, Quest?
I think I mean, it starts out with like I remember you saying when you heard it, how it started. It starts out like one of those old school like
Yeah. Oh
TV
yeah.
tests. This is just a test, like
Yes.
like
Yeah. I
that
was
beep
like, what's wrong
sound.
with my phone? Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know. I just feel like this song to me just doesn't hold as much substance
Yes. Uh-huh.
as, I mean, not everything doesn't have to be deep either,
Right,
but
right.
for me, it's not like if any, it feels like a crush kind of song. Like, you see somebody in the
Yes.
club and
I feel you.
y'all giving each other the eye and all that, but it doesn't, for me, it doesn't do much for me.
Okay. Okay. I respect that. I see where you coming from with it. This song to me is I'm gonna say like it's an intuition in action for me. What I
Hmm.
mean by that is like um it's that moment where you're trying to see, okay, like is this person really for me? Is this something real? Can I trust this feeling that I have? You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying?
Hmm.
It could it be something well, I feel like it can be a beginning of something, or it could be something ending. You know what I'm saying? Very, like you
Hmm.
said, very like a crush, like you said, a
Yeah.
crush type
Yeah.
of situation.
Yeah.
But can this kiss but it to me is deeper than a kiss. You really just going by off of your intuition. That's how I feel about it.
Okay, that's a way to,
Yeah,
how,
that's how I
yeah.
feel.
When she's like, "How will I know what you're feeling is real
Yes.
when you say you love me?" I can
Right.
see that. I can see
Yeah.
that. So literally testing the
Testing it
waters.
out. Testing the
Testing the
water.
water. Yeah,
Because it
I
can be
got you.
good or bad. Yeah. Yeah.
Then we get into Soul of a Woman, the
Mm.
album title, Soul of a Woman. This one for me
I was about to
is one of
cry.
those songs that make you think. She says this song is dedicated to all the brothers out there who've ever loved a woman, whether it's your mother, whether it's a lover, or whether it was your daughter. And to every woman lies a soul, and in the soul of every woman lies the secrets of love.
Hmm.
Mm. What did that mean to you?
Okay, so let me just say my whole breakdown. Well, my breakdown, right? So this is the heart of the album, right? So a woman's love, I feel like a woman's love is powerful, it's deep, it can be loyal, it can be transformative, it can be we love hard. Basically, what I'm saying, women, we not saying that men don't, but when women love, we pour, we build, we sacrifice. We often sacrifice a lot, and sometimes we lose ourselves in relationships, depending on the relationship, and sometimes we settle.
Mhm,
We
mhm.
tolerate what hurts us. We shrink ourselves trying to be what we think a man wants us to be. You're not saying, of course, that's not the right relationship. We need to be entertaining. But to me, the songs remind me that our love is sacred, but we have to protect it as well. But then it also goes back into the self love journey
Yeah.
because I feel like if we, again, I've been there. We can be some of us, not all of us, some of us can be so man centered that we don't think about nothing else but that man. He can be a murderer, honey. He could be the worst man alive, but ooh, I maybe we gotta blank that out. But we will still find something about that man. If our self esteem is not where it needs to be, we'll find something about that man to love because we're like, oh, well, I love his potential. I can
Mhm.
see the little boy in him and I want to nurture that, knowing that's that's not what we need to be doing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I do feel like with good in a healthy relationship, I feel like women, we can definitely transform our partners, or not even just a partner, just
Mhm.
relationships in
Yeah.
general. The nurturing and all of that good stuff. Yeah, the pouring into. Yeah.
I feel that. And I will say this because me being a gay man, a black gay man, I do feel like, let me say, a feminine black gay man. I will say that I feel like black feminine men, gay men, and black women have parallels.
Mhm.
So we're not the same, but we have similar struggles when it comes to relationships with men,
Break that
black
down
men, that
for us,
is.
Quiz. Yes,
Because
yes.
like a lot of things you just described, I can see myself in that at times with
Mhm.
like my situations that I've dealt with men. And I also feel like the feminine, like, so we talk about like, misogynoir, right, where
Mhm.
women
Mhm.
women black women are not, you have misogyny, which is all women, but then you
Right.
have misogynoir, which is specifically black women. And
Mhm.
so the things that black women deal with, all the pressures and the struggles that, going through infidelity and, men mistreating them and unaliving them and all these things. So it's like you were saying, you give almost more than what you can afford to give
That part.
because you want to see, but you see the potential, but the potential never manifests itself to create the
Right.
the product. So
Mhm.
I relate to that, but I think also with this song, Soul of a Woman, she says sometimes if you don't do right, sometimes you don't do right by her, but the way to get back to her heart is through that same soul. You just have to find your way back to
Back
her.
into it. Yeah.
And to me, I take this as when she says the soul of, I feel like when she says soul of a woman, even though it's soul of a woman, I feel like she
Mhm.
say soul of a black woman because that's what,
Oh, I
that's
see.
how
Okay.
that's the only type of woman in that moment that I see as a black woman,
Gotcha.
because black women, they have to be everything. They are the therapist. They are the cook. They are the lover. They are the sister, the aunt, the grandmother. They are your friend, best friend. All of these things, not because they always want it to be, but
That part.
because that's just how life
Mhm. Unfolds.
unfolds for
Yeah.
them. So
Right.
that's what I get from it. It's like,
Okay.
men, you treat like one thing. I don't know if you said this, but I've heard someone say, like, if you want to see how a man is with a woman, see how he treats his mom.
His mom,
You know what I'm saying?
absolutely.
So
Mhm.
it's like, or how he treats his sister, things
Mhm.
like that. So, and there are
Yeah.
some men that treat their moms better than their women, but
Yeah.
their spouses. But I think that is a great indicator to understand where his heart is for a woman.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And even me being a
Absolutely.
black gay man, even though I don't, go into relationship with women in a romantic way, I
Right.
still have a affinity of love for women, black women specifically,
Right.
because of my mom is black, my grandma's black, my
Your
aunts, like
sister.
my
Yeah.
sister, my niece.
Yeah.
Those are the women that I cherish in my heart. So I would never want
Right.
to hurt them or anyone else, allow anyone else to hurt them either. So I
That
think
part.
this, when we go back to even what we talked about with like about weight, how the words they can linger and they can start to penetrate your esteem and your psyche. And it's
Yes.
kind of like the soul of a woman.
The
You
soul.
forget
I see what
just
you're
because she's
saying.
a bigger woman doesn't mean her soul is not still in there.
That
You
part.
know what I'm
I
saying?
love
Like the
that.
soul
Yes.
is still
Yes.
this. It doesn't change. The exterior doesn't change the interior.
Oh, yes. I like that. Look at
You
you.
know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So that's what it
Yes.
means for me. You know, I just see it
I
deep.
love that. I love that.
For real, for real. So next is yours. I'll let you talk about the next
Okay,
one.
let's go ahead and get into the next song is called "You Complete Me." So this right here, baby. Okay, this is the spin the block anthem. Okay,
Mm,
and I'm not saying that everybody should spin the block because everybody should not spin the block. You know, however that relationship ended, you leave it right there at the grave. Everybody cannot do that, but this is my story. Okay, I'm just being real and being honest. You know how sometimes you think, oh, let me just say me. I thought that I could find better. I dated, I somewhat healed, moved on. But in my heart, I knew that my person was my person. I
mhm,
felt it because I felt it when I was with him the first time. I was like, this motherfucker is my person, but we got a lot of growing up to do. We both have a lot of growing up to do. And
mhm,
sometimes life had to separate you so you can grow up, you can mature. And then you know life has a funny way of circling back the people who need to be together because apparently
mhm,
you have something bigger that you have to do. Y'all can come
mhm,
back stronger, wiser, and just ready. And when you come back, you can just try it again. It's up to
mhm,
both of y'all to do it differently. And we're not gonna sit here and lie and say that those you will definitely have to work through what y'all went through the first time. Like, okay, like this is coming, it's triggering me, even though this may not be your person's intention, but you're like, okay, this is looking kind of funny. I'm thinking about what happened to us 10 years ago. And it's like you gotta work out the kinks, but then that also you gotta work on yourself. You have to work on yourself. For me, I was like, okay, I'm this man is showing up differently, so I need some therapy.
mhm,
Because I still the imprint is still there and it's triggering me. So I'm gonna need to talk to somebody about it. And
mhm,
so I'm glad that it happened that way because I was able to see where I needed to heal. And there were some things I didn't want to see
mhm.
within myself. I just didn't. So all this to say, when love, sometimes real, I'm talking about real love, y'all. I ain't talking about no little puppy love. Sometimes you have to go back for a second time and for that grown folk connection. Sometimes you just have to. And I'm not saying that everybody should do that and it's right for everybody because like I said, everybody can't do that.
Mhm.
But everybody's situation is different. So that's my little spiel on that, on you
Yeah, I love that
completely.
take on it. That's a
Mhm.
great. I feel like it's a very mature take, and I think for people like myself that may have not had the same experience as you, as far as like having the tenure of a relationship as long as you have, I
Right.
think it still is a great life lesson. From what I take from it with "You Complete Me," I love the part where she says, "Searching and searching, looking for better." So you went out,
Mhm.
you went out to see there's something better out there, but there's not
Mhm.
really. What you
Mhm.
had already was great. You just needed to work on you. Maybe you needed to mature and work on
Facts.
yourself, like you said, get your
Facts.
therapy to be able to come back and be a better person. So
Right.
if anything, the only part I don't like about it is the "you complete me" part, because I
Okay.
don't feel
I
like,
feel you.
I feel like that part can be like
Again,
maybe maybe you're talking to yourself. that you can complete yourself and then come back to that
Yes.
relationship. I'm
Yes.
sure that's not what she meant, but
Ooh,
that's
no,
how I
but
like
that's
to spin
another
it.
way to look at it, though.
Yeah.
I didn't think
Yes.
about that. That's a great way to look at it
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
because I'm sorry, this is you. This you.
No, go
Okay, go
ahead.
ahead.
You're good. Go ahead.
Because I feel like, again, like I mentioned before in The Soul of a Woman, we sometimes lose ourselves in certain relationships. And
Mm-hmm.
so, and some of us we never really touch the surface of who we truly are as the individual that we are, the woman
Mm-hmm.
that we are. So the fact that we may have to go through some bull, and to be able to do some soul searching and do some healing and figure out, hey, like, damn,
Mm-hmm.
I do complete me.
Mm-hmm.
Everything I need is inside of me. I am
Yep.
who I've been looking for.
Mm-hmm.
And that's
Yep.
real because
Yep.
I've done it, and there's some things that I'm still working on, even my relationship with myself,
Mm-hmm.
and with some of the things like I project onto my partner, and
Mm-hmm.
I be having to talk to myself like, Ashley, that is not his responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
Self-esteem is self-esteem,
Yep.
self-love is
Mm-hmm.
self-love, even
Mm-hmm.
your happiness is you.
That
Your
part.
partner, he just
That
adds to
part.
what you're trying to do, what y'all trying to do in this lifetime. So yes, you do complete you.
Mm-hmm. You
You know what I'm
complete you.
saying?
Yeah.
God,
Yep.
yes, he lives however you believe in, whatever you believe in, but God's
Yeah.
source is inside of you. So
Mm-hmm.
you don't have to look outside of yourself for nothing or nobody. You are what you've been looking for. So
Mm-hmm.
I love that quiz. Yep,
And
you
that's
did
going
that.
to come back up again, what you just said, that last part about you don't have to look outside of yourself. Because even when people say, and we're going to get to that song where she says, I'm nothing without you, or it's even when you're talking about God or
Yeah.
what you call God.
Right.
I don't think God wants you to, I'm not trying to, I'm not a pastor, but
Right, right.
I don't know if God really wants you to feel like you can't do nothing
Mm,
without. I mean, I know I get it when they say like you can do all things through Christ who strengthens you. I get that,
mhm.
but it's like if He's in you, He is you. He's a
That
part of
part.
you. So you
That
still to say that I can't do anything without you, it doesn't make sense to say that.
that I
You
don't
know,
I love that. I love it because
you know what I'm
that's
saying?
how I feel
So
too.
yeah.
Yeah. Again, okay, may this may put a little pressure on some. Okay, I'm just gonna say how the fuck
Just
I
say it.
feel.
Yeah.
But for me, that's why I don't look up to a sky daddy, because I know
Hmm.
that the creator of all there is inside of me at all
Hmm.
times.
Hmm.
Is I don't have to be like, okay, God, no, no.
Yeah.
How I look at that is, just imagine us being the ocean, right? The
Hmm.
ocean is God, is
Yeah.
source.
Yeah.
And so you just take a droplet and you got to drop here, that's us.
Hmm.
That we
Yep.
are source, we are part of source, we're all
Yeah.
connected. You know what I'm saying? So you don't have to look outside of yourself for shit.
Right.
You
That part.
don't, you know what I'm saying? So that's just my spiel. I feel like it's another
I feel you.
conversation,
I feel you on that for sure.
Yeah.
For
Yeah.
sure. So now we're at Soul of a Woman, the
Ugh,
interlude. This is a longer
ooh,
interlude. Again, taking me back
it's
to those
deep.
themes of that pick me kind of thing. So in this
Yes.
interlude, you wanna talk about what this interlude was happening in it, or you want me to talk
Go
about
ahead.
it?
You go ahead. I'm gonna go after
Okay.
you with this one.
So in this
Mhm.
interlude, we are hearing a early version of Kelly Price's song Healing, which I
Ugh.
love. And the song talks about she needs a healing for her soul. So they're just saying that
Mhm.
I need a healing for my soul. They're just saying that
Mhm.
over and over again. And so she's on the phone with her, I guess her lover at the time, and he had did something that made her upset, and he's begging and pleading for her to take him back. And at first she wasn't going to let him come over. And then he comes knocking to the door. So she lets him in. But in that moment, to me, what I said to myself when I heard it, he just telling her whatever she want to hear.
Okay.
Just saying a whole bunch of stuff like I'm nothing. I need you. I I
Baby,
want to
let's
be the man for you. I can do like stuff that just
yeah.
it's like what I don't like about it is that I feel like it does get for him is like desperation, but I think with
Mhm.
her it's like manipulation. He's manipulating her.
Yeah, I see
You
what
know
you're
what I'm saying?
saying.
Like just saying whatever to get on her good side, and
Mhm.
there's no real sincerity behind it. You
I
know?
feel that. I feel where you're coming from because I thought that too, but I did look at it a little differently.
Okay,
Let me
let's
tell
hear
you
it.
what I mean by that. So, like Raquez mentioned, the song "Healing" was playing in the background, and like I was telling Quez, I was like, "Yo, that song!" I had to go back and actually look for the song because I'm like, "That's my song, right?"
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
while I was listening to the song, um, it did exactly that. For those that you don't know, Kelly Price's healing song. Look that up and then just listen to it. Okay. So anyway, I revisited the song, right? And it had me releasing old baggage. I didn't even realize that I was still carrying. I cried, I reflected, I healed a little more. And to me, it was like she was contemplating whether to forgive, whether to reconnect with this dude, whether to try it again. And to me, I feel like sometimes letting go is hard when love or some type of attachment, I'll say, is still
Mm-hmm.
present. But
Yeah.
I looked at it as like the man showed up. I see what you're saying. I see exactly what you're saying. The man, he did show up at the door. He came, and yes, he may have been whispering sweet nothings in her
Mm-hmm.
ear,
Mm-hmm.
but to me, you know what? It's like sometimes love deserves another chance if it's real.
Oh, okay.
If it's real, I ain't say just anything. I'm just saying if it's real, then yes, that's how I feel about it.
Okay. I mean, I could see that.
Hmm.
I could see that. I mean, thank you. I'm just letting that kind of resonate. Just see how
I
I'm
feel,
testing it and seeing. Yeah.
but what you said is that could very well be
Listen, because I
what it
know
was.
niggas,
Okay,
you know what I'm
okay,
saying? So I know
okay.
how they can be. So they tell
Facts.
you what you want to hear.
Here, so you
And
didn't get them
yeah,
drawn.
yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Mhm.
but I digress. Anyway, so
Yeah.
okay, I do have a question for you. Did this version of the song make you cry, or when you went and played the song in full?
No, no,
Okay,
when I played the song in its entirety, I was like,
gotcha,
"Ooh," that's when
gotcha,
it hit me. Like, "Oh,
gotcha. Hmm.
yeah." Mhm.
Gotcha. Okay, okay, understood. So now we move on to her.
Oh god.
Mm. This album is full of a lot of different themes, but I feel like that constant,
Yeah.
like that friend of mine, infidelity, unfaithfulness is kind of like all throughout this album. So her
Yeah.
talks about basically, she's talking about, that there is a man that this is how I interpreted it. So you
Mhm,
tell me how you
mhm,
took it. A
mhm,
man that she was involved with at some point,
mhm,
and it looks like he moved on without
mhm.
her.
Yes.
And she almost is, I don't want to say jealous of the new woman, but almost like well, what does she have that I don't have?
Okay.
And but then she sees
Mhm.
herself in that. So it's like
Yes.
you went with someone that I could have been the same to you that she is
Yes.
to you. That's what I got from it. But
Okay.
she says, I never thought I'll be replaced. So it almost feels like a
Yes.
little bit of, I don't want to say arrogance, but a little bit of a like ego thing for her. Like,
I
wow,
see what you're
I get
saying.
you replacing me? Like,
Yeah,
what?
like, how dare you?
How dare you? So
Yeah.
that's what I got from it. And so again, that desperation from her though, like almost like
Okay.
why haven't you moved on? He's moved on with his life. Why are you
Why?
still stuck in this past?
Facts.
You know? What about you?
Facts. I agree with what you said. I feel like you said, the new woman was more like a substitute
Hmm.
for her. Like, well,
Hmm.
you know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
A replacement, like you said, a copy and
Yeah.
paste version of
Hmm.
her.
Yep.
And you know how sometimes people can you still in love, like you said, why haven't you moved on? You can go on
Hmm.
social media and check
Hmm.
your exes,
Hmm.
um social media platforms to see what's going on with them or whatever, just to see if they really moved on. And you see that the ex is damn near, it's just another version of you, like you said. But then I have to say, like, I can see where she had got upset too, because it's like, okay, this woman looks like me. She's basically me, and you're giving her what you promised me.
Hmm.
I can see how she can be like, I'm
Hmm.
angry.
Mhm.
because we've been through our ups and downs, and you're giving her what you promised me. Like, why couldn't you do that when you was with me?
Mm.
So what is
Remember when
it
I
that I
said
need to
that part about earlier when like I said relationships they sometimes they're not always long term, but they can teach you things and you take into your new
do?
relationship.
Yeah,
But
that's
also
true.
have you heard of like the build a bear concept, the build a man kind
Yes,
of
I
concept?
have.
So you
Oh
got him, you did all this stuff for
yes,
him and got him
yes,
ready and got him all got him
yes.
together, and now
You
he's
got
gonna
him
just
prepared
leave
for
you.
a whole nother one.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's what I just heard when you said that.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
real. That's real, Quest, because a lot of that it is happening now to a lot of women. That has happened to me. So that's crazy. But then I can say this too. Even for your new person, right? Y'all didn't go through the same bullshit that you and that person went through. In other words, I'm saying like the energy between them could be completely different
Mhm,
from what you and that person may have.
mhm.
So I take that into consideration as well, So yeah, that's all I had to say with this one.
Yeah, absolutely. I love it. I love it. Great point. Great point.
Yeah.
So now we get on to Your Love. So I'm gonna be real with you. The next two songs I usually skip. Your Love. Again, it's one of those songs. I don't feel like this album needed a lot of like upbeat songs. And I like
I feel
upbeat
that.
songs, but I just feel like it didn't for me, it just wasn't doing it for me. It just
Okay.
felt like one of those songs they just put in there just to have something, a filler song. So, I mean, it didn't have much substance. So, she's
I
in the
feel that.
song.
I feel that.
There a guy, Lil C's, he's
Please.
rapping,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and he's basically it's just kind of like they're just talking their stuff, just
Hmm.
not real. Again, crushing, like kind of like Kiss
It
Test,
was. It
you know,
was. I
like
feel you.
just having a crush and all these things. I mean, it has a place, but I just for me, it's one of those things. It's kind of like not a song I go back to.
Yeah, I agree. This song was more of a physical attraction, and
Mhm,
if I heard correctly, she was talking about your love. That
mhm,
to me means physically,
mhm, mhm.
and maybe even emotionally and mentally. But it
Yeah,
was very surface, like you said.
yeah,
The butterflies in the stomach,
yeah.
just very
Mhm,
intoxicating, in the beginning,
mhm.
like beginning
Yeah,
shit. So yeah,
exactly,
I agree with what you're saying. I feel
exactly.
that.
And then take me to a dream.
That song right there. To me, that song is about escapism. Like when
Mm,
you're stuck in the past and what your relationship used to be is not that anymore. So you
mhm,
just keep playing on what it used to be in your
mhm,
mind.
mhm,
And not really paying attention to, okay, girl, maybe y'all two just outgrown each other and it's time to let it go because you stuck in
mhm,
the Lulu land,
mhm,
and you need to just let it go. Let it go. Like you holding
mhm,
on to the past, and
mhm.
it's not there. It's just not there
Yeah.
anymore. That's what I took from it. Yeah.
This song it sounded whimsical for me. Like it
Okay.
reminds me of like I when I hear the song that the first opening chords, it sounds like a desert to me. Like I picture like someone in a desert or something. And maybe I might be completely off. But I mean, like you just said, I agree with what you just said. It just sounds like a fantasy kind of thing,
Yes.
like you're fantasizing about this person that you love so much.
Yeah.
And one thing that I have noticed with this album, though, it's every song has been based on another person, a man.
Yes.
Like
Yeah.
none of
Yeah.
these songs, even though I love this album, I don't feel like any of these songs are about just your self love, like you were
Yeah.
saying. And I don't really use that word a lot. I always say self love to me is like one of those words. It's like people just say it cliche right now, like self love. So what does that mean? Go get your nails done. Go get a massage or whatever.
Hell, I
You know.
wish.
But it's like
Yeah.
I wish I would have heard a song that talked more about how you see yourself, the soul
Yes.
of a woman, meaning your soul independently from a man,
Yeah.
not
That's
not
real.
not your soul being affected by a man all the time, and that's how what I'm saying, like not you're not
The
measuring this.
external
Yeah,
validation.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yep, good
Yeah.
callback, good callback.
Yeah. I
So
get what you're saying.
so take me to a dream. It's a song like
We was
I
like,
could do without it. Yeah.
okay,
So,
we skip. Let's go to the next song.
and then finally we close off with Lord of All,
Lord of all,
which is her
yes,
paying homage to her gospel roots. And I would say
yes,
this is probably the only song that doesn't have anything to do with a relationship outside of like this is a different kind of relationship. It's a
yes,
spiritual,
yes,
metaphysical kind of relationship.
yeah,
I love the song. I think it's a great song. It's one of those songs that I don't play often, but
right.
when I am in the mood to hear it, it's always
It hit.
it hits always.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I will say the only part, like I said, kind of going back to what we were talking about with, she says in the song, "I am nothing without you." She's talking to the Lord, so I get it.
Yeah.
But I also feel like I wonder if the Lord wants you to feel like you're nothing ever,
Mm.
you know, or there are some songs like gospel songs I hear where they say I'm unworthy without you. I've even gotten into the point where somebody was telling me they sing in third person, so when it's words that they don't want to internalize or make personal, they'll sing like as if they're talking about another person, not themselves, because the words that
Oh,
you speak
okay.
can
That's
definitely
true.
manifest. So I don't know. That's how I feel about songs like that when they say I'm nothing without you, or they're unworthy, or they're not good enough, or things like
Yeah.
that. I just feel like that you can internalize that stuff.
Absolutely, and I do feel like, and I might be far-fetched when I say this, but okay, in the Breakfast Club interview, she was saying that she lost her dad to I think it was a drug overdose, drug
Hmm.
substance abuse, right? And so
Hmm.
I wonder if she had a father wound. And that's why, not saying again, I'm not saying that this is all the album was all of her,
Hmm.
you
Hmm.
know, about her, but
Hmm.
just what we're making up in our minds about doing this.
Yeah.
It's kind of like you might have father issues. It's a
Hmm.
father wound here. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
I just wanted to say that. But I'm sorry, were you done saying
No,
what you were
actually,
saying?
about that one, and I forgot we got one more song that we
Okay.
didn't. Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, with Lord of All, like you said, that's where the album shifts into like the worship. Like Kelly reminds us all that listen,
Hmm.
throughout the chaos, the heartbreak, the
Yeah.
confusion, the betrayal and the love, God is still center. You know,
Hmm.
God is still inside of you. Like
Hmm.
you've been saying this entire hour and some change. God is still holding on, he's still holding you, still guiding you, and still worthy of, praise. You know what I'm saying? Just
Hmm.
like you are. But her
Absolutely.
range, her
Yeah,
range,
I love it.
her
She
vocal range
like
is everything. I
Kelly is
love
definitely
it.
one of my favorite vocalists of all
Yes.
time.
Yes.
Who are your top? Give me your top five
Baby,
vocalists.
I was just thinking about it. Let us see.
Okay.
Kelly Price, of course, she's up there. I gotta go back. I would have to say Whitney Houston.
Okay.
That's three, right?
That's three.
Um, who else be killing it in the game? I like Jill Scott. I feel like she
Jill.
has a
Okay.
solid voice. Um, who else be killing it? Oh, there's a lot more, but Layla
Hmm.
Hathaway,
Oh.
she has a very I look, I'm all for a very high pitched voice like a soprano, but
Hmm.
give me
Hmm.
that soulful deep
Hmm. I like the deep too. Yeah.
feminine voice.
Hmm.
Yes, you know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? She has a beautiful soulful voice as well, and
Yeah.
I appreciate it. But Miss
Yeah.
Lettucey, when I tell you, for me, I do get chills with all these women sing, but when Lettucey sing, I be like, "Child, I wish I could." I really be think I can sing like her because I had my mic and I had my earphone. You know, I'll just be
Mhm.
trying to sing. I be trying to sing, Quez. I be
Yeah.
like, if I had this voice, she be killing it. So, who is your top five?
Those are and Legacy. Let me just say, Legacy. I honestly I hadn't heard a lot of her work. I'm gonna be
Mm,
real with you, but I had heard her sing like a live performance she did of a jazz song. It was really beautiful. She has a beautiful
yes,
voice. My
yes,
top five, and this is in no particular order:
right, right, right.
Kelly Price,
Yes.
Fantasia,
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Hmm.
a lady by the name of Helen Baylor. She is a gospel
Yes.
legend that I don't feel I get enough
Hi,
praise.
girl.
Tanya Blunt.
I
Tanya
don't
Blunt's
know
another
her.
one. She's from Sister Act 2 with Lauren Hill. She did the
Oh
Eye on the Sparrow. Tanya
yeah,
Blunt. Let me
yeah.
see. That's four, I think. Kelly Price, Fantasia, Tanya Blunt,
Yes.
Helen Baylor, and then my last one, I would say, hmm, I have two people that I'm thinking. I'm gonna say Fred Hammond. I love Fred Hammond's
Oh,
voice. I think his
Fred.
voice is very like just melodic, and his melodies are amazing. And I just
Yes.
love, yeah. So though that's my top five of
I
all
love
time.
he does this
Yeah,
amazing.
for sure. For sure. But we close
Yeah.
out the album with Friend of Mine, the remix, which
Mhm.
is featuring Ronald Isley
Mhm.
and R. Kelly. So I'll let you take it away. I'll let you take it
I
away.
feel like I mean, I don't have too much to say about this one, but what I can say is I do like the remix because it's a bit iconic for me because Ronald Isley came and like the dramatic, fed up
Mm-hmm.
godfather
Mm-hmm.
that we all
Mm-hmm.
need,
Mm-hmm.
like the
Yes.
storytelling, the emotion, the dramatics, and
Mm-hmm.
calling ninjas out. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yep.
nigga, like we know what you're doing. Don't be playing. Don't be act like you don't know what you're doing because we know what you're doing. He a grown man just like you. We know you out there cheating. You know what I'm saying? So to me it was a great and it was a great closure song. However, I
Yeah.
do feel this is just my opinion. I feel like the songs were out of order because it does
Ooh.
tell a story. I feel like the whole album does tell a story, but I feel like it should have been ordered, for it to sync, to make more sense, to flow better.
Okay, so let's do Ashley's order of operations. So
Oh Lord.
tell me what will
No,
be
you
in your
now gotta
order
think about it. Hold on.
for the lineup.
Okay. Oh Lord.
You got
You
the
should
list in front of you. Ain't got the list in front of you. I think you have the track
No, I
listing in
didn't have
front.
no
You don't.
list.
Okay.
No,
Okay. That's
that's
cool.
so see, I would have to come back and then give you like, okay, this
Okay.
will be my list. But it's
Okay.
still like you said, it's told a story. And I enjoyed that
Yeah.
whole entire album. But the song to me, because of course she ain't had no best friend no more. So she had to call her
Mhm.
father
Yeah.
to vent to and to get in his ass. So yeah, that's all I have to say about that.
What I love about this song in Ronald Isley's role in the song, the writing, I like when he says, "You may have been the moon to her, but to me, she's the star."
Damn, I
That
remember when he said that hit.
that's always
Yes.
stands out to me when he says it's like he just dropped the mic, because it's like
Yeah.
that to me feels like that's what I was looking for in this album. I was looking for that from her, like that sense of self
I
assurance,
see
self
what you're
sufficiency,
saying.
regardless. Like when he said that, you may have been the moon to her. You may have, what I take from that is, you may have just been another number for her.
Right.
You may have thought she was in your world, but
Yeah.
she was the star all along. She never needed you.
Yes. But you know what? That's where she was at that time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And what's crazy to me? I feel like this song, it was kind of a reflection of what their not R. Kelly, but Kelly Price and Ronald's relationship was in real life
Mm-hmm.
because he was still being that like a I guess I would say like
Yes.
affirmation.
Yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah,
he
yeah.
how am
Remember
I
I
trying to
told you
say
what
it?
he said? He was
Yes.
like, there's a lot more women that
There
look
was a lot
like
more
you than don't.
yes,
Yeah, yeah.
he was building her up, you know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? And
Yep.
then even when she was talking in the Breakfast Club interview, she was saying that she had like a few labels that wanted to sign her.
Mm-hmm.
However, she went with Ronald, even though it was
Mm-hmm.
he was offering a lesser
Less amount of
amount,
money. Yeah. Yep.
but she was like, You gotta understand what I'm saying,
Mm-hmm.
and Diddy Bob." Like
Yeah.
I'm going where I know I am celebrated.
Celebrated. Yep.
I'm going where I know that my voice is going to be heard, where I
Mm-hmm.
know I am she probably felt some she probably looked at him as a father figure, and she
Yes.
was able to connect with him on that level. So the fact that I see that we're hearing this in this song, it was like this is a reflection of how he really cares for her. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yep.
Like he
Yep.
really has love for her, and he knew that she needed that father figure in her life because
Mm-hmm.
her father passed. So I just love it. I love it. Yeah.
I love it. And I love that callback. I love how you tied all that together.
Yeah.
And it's like also I was thinking too, when we think about the song Friend of Mine, the
Yes.
remix and the original version, and you know how like we talk about like someone that might have gotten cheated on, you be like, I can't believe they would even cheat on them as fond as they are or
Right.
whatever, whatever.
Right.
But I wonder if it would have been posed the same way with her. Like you cheated on her as beautiful as she is. You know what I'm saying? Like when we talk
I
about
see
like
what
the
you're
politics
saying.
of it, it's like we accept the fact that she could be cheated on. We accept that she could be cheated on, but we won't accept that someone else that may be whatever amount size smaller than her could be cheated on. Like, how could you cheat on
That
her
part.
with, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, again, it
That
goes back to that whole like the beauty standards. It's like,
the
oh
beauty
yeah, we can see
standard.
her being cheated on. Yeah, that makes
Right.
sense. Yeah,
But then you gotta remember Beyonce was cheated on.
there you go.
So let's
There you
not
go.
go back to the looks. It's not always a look thing. It's just not. So I wish
Yeah.
people, like I said, maturity,
Hmm.
like
Hmm.
get out of that. That's what,
Yeah.
and then go back to what I said earlier. It's the connection between the two
Yeah.
people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So people, that
Hmm.
shit just pisses me off. Like, oh yeah,
Hmm.
she fat, she ain't got no ass, so I can see why you cheated on her. Like, no, that is so
Hmm.
immature to say. Where do you just hear what you just said? I don't
And
think people really be
I want
hearing
to
what they
know
be
from
saying.
you, Ashley, you being a full figure woman,
Mhm,
how does this when you listen to this album, did you identify, I know you talked about certain things that you identify with, but as
mhm.
far as like the body politics about it, the beauty
Oh yeah,
standards, did that resonate with
yeah.
you?
Absolutely. Like with which I should have said this because I had it in my notes, but a friend of mine I was gonna say she probably not knowing what the girl looked like because she could be another full figure woman. But in my mind, I was like, okay, yeah, the friend probably looking at Kelly like, was she a big girl? I'm coming in
Mm-hmm.
looking like this. I got my
Mm-hmm.
shape, so
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I can get him. And she may not
Yeah.
even want him like that. She just feel like, yeah, it's her ego speaking
Yeah.
like, I'm just gonna get him
Yeah.
because I can. You know what I'm saying? I feel like
Mm-hmm.
women do that. I
Yeah.
do feel like women do that. And to a degree, men do it too. It's
Mm-hmm.
like the physical part of it. It's just the
Mm-hmm.
physical part of it. Like
Mm-hmm.
that's the physicality of a person is shit compared to the soul. You
The
know what I'm
soul.
saying? Your soul
Yeah.
is much deeper because this is a meat suit, period. You can lose weight, you can gain weight, you can have surgery to change your outer appearance. But what is deeper than just your physical appearance? Like,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I
I
get
second
it.
that. I definitely, and I will say Kelly Price is very, very, to me, so important.
Yeah.
Like she is so important, and I just hope and pray that she realizes how important and needed she is. I don't want to say was, but is,
Yeah.
because even me, like I'm not a full figure woman, but just seeing how she went through what she went through and with her weight and all that and all of the politics behind it and all that kind of stuff. Even me, I've had struggles with my weight growing up.
Yeah, I understand.
And
Yeah.
so just seeing her, it inspires me. Like it makes me feel comfortable with it,
Right.
whether I gain weight, lose weight, it doesn't change my value.
Right.
And
Right.
that's the biggest takeaway that I got from her story is you can still be talented and fabulous and all these amazing things. And you don't have to be a certain size to be all of those things. You
Yeah,
don't.
that's true. That is so true.
You don't
I feel that.
at all.
Yeah, like you said, how you relate to it. Like I'm not gonna say we deal with adversity,
Hmm.
and she
Hmm.
damn sure dealt with that. And she even mentioned herself, like, I feel like not verbatim, y'all, but she said she basically feel like um her career didn't go far
Yeah.
as she wanted to because people were still stuck on how
With the
she
weight.
looked.
Yeah.
And not her talent. So to me, I feel like that's crazy.
I
That's
mean, we look at the photos, you don't
it's
see
always like her
anything
face.
past
Her
her
face.
neck. Like
Yeah,
you just see,
her face.
and
Yep,
so I think that's evident enough. And as gorgeous as her face is, I think
gorgeous.
seeing the rest of her was just as
Yes,
important, and
yes,
so And then her features were also, she had
Beautiful.
the
Full
Negroid
lips.
features, black features,
Mm-hmm.
full lips, full nose,
Beautiful.
all
Mm-hmm.
those beautiful things that we
Yeah.
need to see. Women, there are
Yeah.
little girls that need to see that.
Yeah.
They need
Absolutely.
to see it. The more you see it, the more normal it becomes for you. And
Exactly.
you also become, it's more inclusive and you feel like you belong here. And I think
Exactly.
everybody deserves to feel like they belong,
And
you
it's so
know?
crazy. Yeah, it's funny that you even brought that up with her, them just showing her face because I started like that. I started taking pictures of my face and my face alone, and it won't nothing
Mhm,
else. So
mhm,
like
mhm,
I get it, but at the end of the day, y'all,
mhm.
I feel like you have to, even if you decide to get a BBL, whatever you decide to do with your body, make sure you're doing it for yourself and not for the male or the female gaze. Make
Yeah,
sure it's for you. Whatever you
yeah,
do, make sure it's for you. That's it.
exactly. And
Mm-hmm.
so, and also, I want to say my Aries sister, Kelly Price,
Yes.
is on April the 4th. I'm April 13th. So I
Period.
definitely can understand the fire and passion that she
Yes.
has because I
Yes.
share that.
Yes.
Absolutely. Close us out, Ashley.
Before we go, y'all. Once again, y'all, we honor you, Kelly Price. If you looking at this, we do honor you. And we support you, and we see you. We hear
Hmm.
you. You're a very powerful and strong woman. You know, she's a voice that's touched by God. You can never deny that. I don't care what you say. You could say anything about her, but you can never deny this woman is a singer. She's a beautiful woman
Hmm.
inside and out, right? A songwriter, because she even said it first. She's a songwriter first, then a singer. Which I was
Yeah.
like, really?
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Hmm.
and she pours her soul into her songs and her album, and no matter what anyone thinks of her, her talent is undeniable. Like I just said, her impact is everything. So
Yeah. For sure.
that's all I
For
have to
sure.
say. Kelly Price, you was that girl. You was that girl. And that
Yes,
album was
ma'am.
fire. That album, I'm actually grown enough to say that I get it. I relate to it. So
Well,
yeah.
folks, we do appreciate y'all for tuning in. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And I also want to say that I appreciate y'all. Actually, I appreciate you for doing this with me. Like
I
this is
appreciate
super,
you.
super, super important for me. And
Absolutely.
we will holler at y'all next time. Bye.
Bye.